All right, it looks like the racers have been given their countdown. They should be going in just a moment. There it is. And pretty good sync considering we are crossing a lot of territory here. We have Team USA and Team Japanada, that is of course Japan and Canada, coming together. Up first we have Ghosts N Goblins. Actually, we are playing Makaimura, the Japanese version of this game. You see there on your left, for Team USA, Error 72 taking up the mantle against current world record holder Wiz. They are doing 2 loops, of course, in this game, as this is a full run of this game. And really in the early goings, not a whole lot really that we're dealing with. These guys are just absolute pros of this game, and they are going to barrel on through. Look at that, going right through the Red Reamer. First up, they're both taking the hit though, because the aggressiveness is serious right here, folks. Neither of these guys want to give up any time here in the early goings. Well, it looks like there's a little bit of alert status on Wiz's side. Wiz actually running on Nico over on the Japanese side. I don't know anything about the live streaming on Nico, so your guess is as good as mine when it comes to some of that stuff you may see on his screen. I apologize for that. There we go, Error putting down the Unicorn, Wiz shortly behind. And it looks like, actually, with the slight timing difference in their starts, they are pretty much neck and neck right here, in lockstep with one another, as we're going into Stage 2. Stage 2 has a very odd checkpoint system in this game. You do get a checkpoint in each stage of this game, and all but one of the stages in this game. The last stage before the final boss does not give you a checkpoint. But you get your checkpoint very, very early on in this stage here, right before all of the real nasty stuff happens. So as you can see, both of our runners getting through the icy section, no problem. And there is the checkpoint. Now the real work begins, because they have the ghosts starting to fly at them. Oh, Eric catching a ghost to the face there. These ghosts, technically they don't spawn randomly, but at this point in the run, coming out of Stage 1, they are practically random with the way that this game handles the RNG rolls. So we are dealing with these ogres on the climb here, and oh, Wiz taking the first death of the relay. And we will see him respawn at that checkpoint. Now, because Error has lost his armor, he's going to be heading up to the left here in the hotel, and he is going to be picking up a little armor drop. And that's going to allow him to do a damage boost outside of here, so he doesn't have to climb his way down. It's going to save him a nice portion of time. Unfortunately, because you are on a timer here, the climb down through this area is actually really daunting, especially on your timer. So the runners will take that boost to save time, and they will be off and going on these moving platforms, dealing with birds, dealing with ghosts, the whole 9 yards. Sometimes these platforms don't cooperate in this game. You can fall through them on occasion. Jumping to the right or left can sometimes be daunting in this game, but both Error and Wiz are dauntless. We may see that word come up again in just a little bit. But now, because one unicorn wasn't enough, here is the tag team champion unicorns at the end of Stage 2. Error putting the first one down, no problem. And the second one, hippity hopping around, but no problem, as Error is moving on to Stage 3. And meanwhile, Wiz making his way through the watery platform section. It looks like he's gotten past the nastiest of the enemies, but still has to deal with the unicorns. On Loop 1, the unicorns aren't quite as aggressive as they are on Loop 2, as you may imagine. But sometimes you can get that bad pattern. The first one is down for Wiz. Getting a very cooperative pattern on that second one, and he just stands there, shoots a couple fireballs, Wiz ducks, and grabs himself a key. So now that we've had our music change here in Stage 3, let's talk a little bit about what we have going on. We have those pillars that you can only destroy when they are in red mode, only when they are enraged and ready to shoot at you. Oh, an Error with the very nice kill of the red Arimer right there. That Arimer got right up in his face, but he toughed it out through that last javelin, and that was all she wrote. Wiz hot on Error's heels here. He's making up some significant time, but has to stop and wait for the pillar. Watch out for these zombies as well. Error taking that boost there. It looks like that was actually 100% intentional. That's a little bit of a new strat And he's going to be able to get the armor right back right there. Very wise decision out of Error. Stops and kills the 2 ghosts as they spawn. That is Error's favorite Arima in the game right there. Is pretty easy to kill if you just kind of barrel forward and jump into his face. You can impress your friends with that kill. Meanwhile, this Arima is given chase to Wiz, and Wiz is able to despawn him as well. An excellent job there for Wiz. You see Error there now picking up the torch. We'll see if he gets the bad luck. No, indeed, he's able to get through. There is some trickery in this stage where the game can sometimes damage you, and if you are naked, you will die. Error avoids the shenanigans, gets the kill on the dragon, grabs himself a key, and celebrates by going on to stage 4 here. But as we see, Wiz keeping up pace here, our world record holder, fending off this red Arima, and he's going to be picking up the torch. The javelin will not do damage to this dragon here, so our competitors must pick up an alternate weapon. If they get a random drop, that's fine, but most of them are going to wind up with the torch in this situation. And Wiz making short work of the dragon, keeping hot on the heels of Error, who right now is maintaining this lead, and oh, he's just hanging out. Look at this well-coded game here from the Micronics port. You can do all sorts of fun stuff like that in this game. Fun. Sometimes in quotes. This game can be a little bit rough around the edges sometimes, but Error putting on a little show there for the folks. We'll see if Wiz follows suit. Error sticking with the torches here. It's a little bit slower to go get the shield drop that is guaranteed in this stage. He has left that behind, and he is using the torches to the best of his ability to get rid of these little imps as they're spawning over the fire bridge here. Doing a fine job of it. He will be fighting another dragon at the end of this stage, and if you don't kill enough enemies or don't get enough pickups, you can despawn the boss, and you'll be stuck in the stage until you go and kill enough enemies. This is one of the fun quirks of Makaimura / Ghosts N Goblins. So there we see the sleeping dragon. Error choosing to wake him up, which means he will get a little bit more of an aggressive pattern, which is, of course, ideal for the speedrun. And Error putting the dragon back to sleep for good this time. And he will be on to stage 5. Now, normally in Ghosts N Goblins, we see some damage boost through stage 5 here. I'm not sure if those are possible in Makaimura. I believe they are, but we will have to see how our racers take to this stage here. And Wiz putting the dragon away. He will be joining Error on stage 5 here momentarily. We see the axe drop there on Error's side. You absolutely do not get the axe drop. And now, yes, we are seeing the ogre spawn there. It looks like that's just one extra enemy that Error killed. You have to balance it out. You can't leave too many enemies, otherwise the platforms that you need to go across will not spawn. If you don't kill enough enemies, that will happen. If you kill too many enemies, then you'll have a whole bunch of extra spawns on this stage. But by deboosting up, as we've seen these racers do, they are able to basically curtail a lot of the spawns that would normally happen in this stage and give themselves a nice, easy, free pass up through the rest of these sections of stage 5. See, everybody thinks this game is so hard. Look at this. Look how easy they're making us look. It must be easy, right? Give me a break. This game is ridiculous, guys. They're making it look so simple. That is just the high level that both of these runners are operating at. Satan going down on Error's side. Meanwhile, Wiz just starting the first Satan fight. Getting some nice pot shots in from that torch and grabbing the key, and we are closer than ever here, folks. But of course, we are still on the first loop of the first game here in the Makaimura-thon. Or, excuse me, that's a different event. Makaimura Relay Race. Oh, Error going for that boost there, does not get it. He's going to take a quick death from, yes, indeed, the unicorn right there. We will see if Wiz can now grab the lead. Oh, he takes the deboost and goes straight up the ladder, so he is going to be on his way here. Both of our runners are going to have to pick up the cross here. In the US version, it is a shield. But in this version, it will be a cross, and that is the mandatory weapon in order to get to the final boss in both loops. In the other two games we will see tonight, the special weapon is only needed for the second loop to spawn the boss, but in this game, you need it for both loops. Now, Wiz is going for a super dangerous strat. He's going to boost up from the red Arima there and go climbing through the rest of the stage. He's got an Arima to deal with here. He's hoping that he would despawn. Did not happen. And then we'll see if he can make it up here. Gets the despawn by making it up to the boss fight. Ducks again. Gets the Satan to go away. Has the... Oh, he has the cross and he's doing the safe strat, getting in the corner. The cross will cancel projectiles. And both Satans are down, and Wiz will get to Astaroth first. And unfortunately, it looks like Error is still making his way up to attempt the boost. I think he's going to attempt the boost. We'll see what happens. He may be playing it safe here under Marathon Circus. Yes, indeed. Okay, yes, he is going to go up the ladder. That is going to cost him some precious time here. Meanwhile, Wiz putting a hurt on Astaroth, and there's loop 1. This room is an illusion and a trap to visit by Satan. Go ahead, dauntlessly make rapid progress with 1S. The English is strong, ladies and gentlemen. But what's even stronger is Wiz's play right now, as he is on to loop 2, where the stakes are even higher. We're going to see right out of the gate, Wiz is going to want to pick up another weapon here. The unicorns are actually completely invulnerable to the cross, so he's got to get whatever drops. He's looking for either a javelin or ideally a dagger. Meanwhile, Era has made it to the top, puts down both Satans using that same corner strat, getting rid of the projectiles, getting to safety, and he is going to put down Astaroth in short order here and join Wiz on loop 2. And Wiz getting the dagger, so he is loving life right now. That is a great weapon in all 3 of these games that we're going to see tonight. We'll be seeing all of the runners using this with great relish. But right now, Wiz putting down our first Aremer of loop 2. The difference between the Aremers in loops 1 and 2 is that on loop 1, they can have 1 shot on screen at a time. On loop 2, they can have 2 shots on screen at one time. And Error seeing the illusion in the trap to visit by Satan. And he's going to go ahead dauntlessly and make rapid progress. Here on loop 2. Anything can still happen here, folks. We are by no means through with this game, or certainly not even close to anywhere with the race overall. These guys are just crushing it right now. A death for each of our racers. And Wiz putting down the unicorn here on 2-1. Error as well, looking for his weapon change. It's kind of a shame to have to get rid of it. It is nice to be able to cancel projectiles. But alas, if you can't defeat a boss, you can't make rapid progress. Wiz getting to the checkpoint here of stage 2, and he will be going up through the hotel. It's probably not actually a hotel, but oh, look at this boost that Wiz has done. I believe Wiz was the first to pioneer this for the Makaimura run, as he goes straight up and collects that armor. What an amazing strat! And he is just jumping out to a major lead right now, as Error is just getting to the unicorn on 2-1, taking a hit. He's tanking him, but it is Wiz now, who is living up to his name, playing like a wizard, and making, well, we don't want to say rapid progress again, but he's going really fast. Aaron now getting going on 2-2 here. The ogres in this stage are so much nastier than they are on the first loop. So to see Wiz execute that strat with perfection is just heartwarming as someone who has had to play through this game a time or two. He's getting rid of all the nonsense. Now Wiz is okay. It looked like he had killed the first ogre, but no, Wiz very wisely keeping those attacks coming and putting him down, not giving up. Getting the second one down very quickly as well, and Wiz putting on a clinic right here, folks. And you see Error not using those same strats that Wiz did, going up these ladders here. Has to be very careful of the ogres. Not only do you have ogres on the same level as you, but you have ogres trying to drop items down on your head. And of course the birds come in every so few seconds. You gotta be careful. A lot going on in this game. But Error able to grab his armor. He's gonna have to put this ogre down and make his way to the right side of the hotel and get up and out. But as Wiz now Starting off stage 3 strong, dealing with the pillar, got a couple zombies in his way. He's going to want to hang on to this dagger really until the final stage at this point. The dagger is, I believe the only thing that's, maybe the only thing that's invulnerable to the dagger is Astaroth, which you wouldn't get to fight with the dagger. So, does not matter. You, of course, have to have the special weapon in order to get to Astaroth in this game, and that is true of all of the final bosses across all of the 3 games we will see in the Ghosts N Goblins series relay tonight. There's that armor spawn there. If you just jump off of that platform, you can make that spawn. A couple ghosts come after you, but Wiz putting them down, no problem. And Error tangling with these unicorn twins. And getting his key for his efforts. Wiz avoiding that pickup right there. That will turn him into a frog for 10 seconds. Oh, and he switches over to the torch. That was very obviously a conscious decision. And you see right there, Wiz took damage from apparently nothing. That is one of the glitches in the game where you just sometimes take damage at that spot as you approach the dragon. If he had been armorless right there, he would be dead and have to start over from the checkpoint in stage 3, and we would have ourselves a really tight race. But Wiz wisely hold on to his armor at that point and able to get through and on to 2-4 here. Meanwhile, Error getting going on 2-3. 2-4, one of the easier stages in the game, perhaps the easiest. Really no enemies at the first checkpoint. Really just the Arimer at the end of this first checkpoint. That's all he's got to worry about at this point. And he can jump right over his head and hit that checkpoint if he really wants. Oh, look at the kill. Gets right up into his face and puts a torch in his eye. Showing the skills of a world champion right there is Wiz. Error, meanwhile, making his way up the stair steps. He could spawn some armor here, but except he's kept his armor through this point, so he does not need to waste time to do that. Oh, and Wiz catching a little bit of that Arimer right there. And now it is time to face the dragon. He's going to... It looks like he waited for him to wake up. I don't think those shots did any damage to him. It probably just got his body down a little bit as he was spawning. But no worries there for Wiz as the key comes down. And we're on to stage 5 here in Loop 2 of Makaimura, the Japanese version of Ghosts N Goblins, here on the Makaimura Relay, aka the Ghosts N Goblins series relay race. This is the English Restream. I am your host, Enemy, holding it down for all of you fellow English speakers. Good to see you all tonight. Hope you are enjoying the show. We have a hell of a race brewing here in our first of 3 big games in the Makaimura series. Kicking off with Ghosts N Goblins as Wiz is trying to set up this clip here, getting some unfavorable spawns. Gonna give Error a few seconds to catch up during this scene transition. Oh, and Wiz is knocked back. He's gonna take a quick death here. And that is just the unfortunate nature of spawns in this game. Sometimes they give, sometimes they take. And now Error is gonna ride these platforms along and do what he can to catch up. As Wiz is dealing with these uncooperative spawns. Just needs to catch a little boost, and there's the burrito to give him what he needs. And Wiz wisely taking one extra hit on the imp there, wanting to make sure again that he kills off the exact right number of enemies. Too few, and you get too few killed off, and you don't get the platform spawns that you need, in which case you're stuck. Too many killed off, and you get extra enemy spawns. That's bad too. Oh, it looks like Wiz was just a little bit late to catch that platform on the first go-around. Meanwhile, Error is dealing with these imps. Oh! And that imp just snuck up behind him and touched him up. And I'll send Error back to the checkpoint here in 2-4. Meanwhile, Wiz is making his way through a nice and clean 2-5 with all of these enemies despawned. Wiz now up to Satan. He's a big ugly mug. Oh, and Error taking another death right there. Oh, he's got down to 0 lives. This has got to be crunch time for Error. He can go... Oh, no, he can't. Never mind. He's at the checkpoint. He cannot go out of his way and get that one up. So it is all clutch performance all the time for Error here the rest of the way. There is... In this version of the game, you can't just continue. You have to use a continue code to pick up where you left off. And Error was expressing some trepidation over the potential of having any mistakes in that code. Not that it's difficult, but just, you know, in a marathon setting, you know, one slip of the thumb and you're not getting your code input anymore. So we will see what happens here as Error now getting that clutch kill on the Arimer, going up to the dragon, and we will see how that goes for him. As Wiz is taking on a dragon of his own, getting the cross spawn, has the weapon he needs to beat the game, and he will be getting his armor back in just a moment here. There it is. Oh no, oh, he misses the jump. Do you see right there? I guarantee you he pressed that A button to jump across, but unfortunately sometimes when you do a horizontal jump in this game, it just does not happen. But a minor miscue for the world champion here. As he is making his way up, he is... Oh, he has despawned the red Arimer, so that will change his strats a little bit. Oh, and a little alternate boost here from Wiz. He's going to go straight up, and he's going to skip himself quite a few of these red Arimers. I have never seen that before. That is amazing. And he's going to get to the double Satan fight, and we know the strats here, folks. He's going to... Oh, it looks like he's going to take him one by one here. I don't know if by doing that deboost, that changes some things about how we normally handle this fight. But however Wiz does it, you got to say that's the right way, because look at the clinic that Wiz is putting on right now. Now he's going to use this corner strat right here to get rid of the second one, grab the key, and Wiz will be closing out Makaimura, our first game here in the Makaimura relay race. Very shortly here, Astaroth is going to go down, and he's going to go down hard. Astaroth has a tendency to be kind of a punk in this game. There's one exception that we will discuss later on in Super Ghouls and Ghosts. But for right now, Wiz is going to attack dauntlessly, and there it is. Congratulations, this story is happy end. Thank you. And we are wasting no time. Wiz may feel strong dwelling in his body, but it is ZedAhmad who is going to be running for Team Japanada here in Ghouls and Ghosts, the arcade version. And there's the music clicking over. Shoutouts to our team in Japan. Super Ghouls and Ghosts world record holder Malcolm holding it down on the main restream on the Japanese side. We are holding it down here on the English restream. I'm your host, Enemy, and Error now is onto the final main stage of Ghosts N Goblins, excuse me, Makaimura, the Japanese version of Ghosts N Goblins. And Zed is going to do some sweet deboosting right here. That skull knocks him over and up onto the platform he needs to get to, dealing with these pig farmers and dropping straight down, and he will be coming up to Shielder here, our first boss in Ghouls and Ghosts. Zed very aggressively attacking. Couple more hits, and there he is. Putting Shielder away and getting the job done. So Zed will be off and running to stage 2. Look at that near instant screen transition. You gotta watch out for the turtles here in the arcade version. They do spawn at random positions. So he's got to be very careful. He wants to keep moving as much as possible, but can't catch a turtle in the face, otherwise he's gonna have a bad time. Using the sand movement to get a little bit of a boost up onto these collapsing bridges is Zed. Oh, and Error suffering a game over there on stage 6 of loop 2. He will be entering in the code. We'll see how that goes. And it looks like he has made it back to where he left off. Oh, this Arimer giving Zed a little bit of business right now. Zed's going to press forward. Oh, and catches the little fire bat right there. No big deal. He is basically right at the checkpoint. So that's a very minor time loss. But Team Japanada now can afford it because Error suffered that nasty game over here on the final main stage of Makaimura. Of course, there is a final boss, but it is largely trivial in this game. And there's not much of a stage to it. You just stand there and shoot him in the face. But Zed coming up to Cerberus here. One of the easiest boss fights in this game. Cerberus will jump around a little bit, fly over your head, stand in your face, and mostly die. Fun fact, in the arcade version, when you catch the key, it's the only key in the game that you cannot get a nice catch on. Aquas' theory is that the key is too hot to get a nice catch on. In the Mega Drive and Genesis versions, you can get a nice catch. Arcade, too hot to handle, though. You're now dealing with these ogres over in Makaimura. Now the Red Reamer is awakened. Oh, an error! Just getting the job done with that Red Reamer. That was so clutch. The Reamer was overlapping his sprite, but it did not matter. Error said, not today, sir. Is making his way up the ladders now, dealing with the ogres, dealing with the skeletons. And Zed is looking to get himself a dagger right here, still rolling with the javelin. He's going to pick up that shield right there. The flying power disc, aka the windjammer, that is going to actually allow him to hopefully coax out a spawn of the dagger as he goes on in the game. He's going to charge up. A little bit of fun there for Zed, dropping in that shield. Killing one of the, I don't know what they're actually called. They make for a good emote though, those enemies. They like to eat a lot of food. And Zed now, we'll see what sort of crazy tricks Zed's gonna get into. There's a lot of skips you can do to get past the Digestamura heads. Oh, and there's the dagger, the lucky dagger drop from the chest for Zed. As you see, he picks it up with great haste. And he is gonna make his way through. He's gonna wanna hold on to that really until he gets the Psycho Crusher at the end of the game. Oh, and there you see right there, Zed getting deep into the mouth of the beast right there. That statue could have gobbled him up, but Zed knows exactly where his position is, jumps through, and saves himself a few seconds right there. Putting down Gasudo, not to be mistaken with Krakow from the Kirby's games. Oh, an error. Dealing with some Reamers there, and they are not being kind to him. But Zed is now on stage 3 here. In Ghosts N Goblins, the arcade version. Oh, and catches the blue projectile that takes away his gold armor. Now, Zed can get an armor replenishment if the proper chest spawn, but he is, oh man, he is in a world of hurt right now, folks. He's got the mud worms coming after him, and unfortunately had to dodge right into the crystal spikes on the ceiling there, and he's gonna have to start the stage over again. Error now, it looked like he was going for the boost on the left side, but it was not happening. He's lost his armor. He is going to try to make his way back up this final stage of Makaimura. And some certain nasty enemies to deal with here. Ogres and Red Reamers aplenty. And now Zed is going to get the checkpoint here and take a quick death. That will not only get his armor back, but it will also reduce his rank in the Ghosts N Goblins game. Your rank increases the longer you go, the more checkpoints you catch with your armor intact. And the higher level armor you have, the rank is increased more. So by taking that death there, it resets his rank, and he's able to have a little bit nicer time to get down here to Ohm. And it's the intestines that Zed will be going after here on Ohm. Have to keep your cadence solid here, not too fast, not too slow, but at a nice, easy pace to keep them active so you can continue to damage them. And now Zed is at a save point here. All he's got to do is avoid these little slugs that are coming after him and making Ohm look like nothing. ZedAhmad going on to stage 5 here. This is the final stage of the first loop. This game is so short, ladies and gentlemen, especially in the hands of a champion like ZedAhmad. And no problem dealing with these Reamers here, folks. 2 for 1, no issue for Zed. Look at the clutch strat. He just knows exactly what they're gonna do. Oh, it looks like Zed's not gonna go for the D-boost here. He's just going to kill his way through the pig farmers. And he's just gonna keep rolling. He's not even gonna, normally we see runners take a little death here to reset their rank, but Zed says, you know what? Let's keep it rolling. Meanwhile, Error's keeping it rolling on the Makaimura side. He's still making his way up this stage. I'm here to tell you, this stage that Error's going through, it is a nightmare, folks. He is moving ahead dauntlessly, despite some rougher stuff, but he's getting into the corner here. It looks like the Satans are going to go down. We will see if he can get through. One left, yes, an error will be finishing up here in Makaimura and tagging in Aquas for Ghouls and Ghosts, but it is ZedAhmad who is just about to finish the first loop. Oh, and he manages to not get a weapon drop right there. That is always dangerous when you're coming into the boss fight here with Beelzebub. You see there, Zed going for the quick kill, getting his clone out, and that is loop 1 down. Loop 1 down just about the same exact time that Error wraps up Ghosts N Goblins, and Aquas is off and running already, beginning loop 1 here for his team, USA. But right now, Team Japanada is enjoying a hefty lead here in the Makaimura relay race. 1 loop down in Ghouls and Ghosts Arcade, and ZedAhmad is loving life right here. Of course, we are bringing you the English restream right here on RGL TV. I am your host, Enemy. Shoutouts to our Japanese contingent, Super Ghouls and Ghosts world record holder Malcolm, bringing you the action on the Japanese side and putting this whole thing together along with Aquas. On Aquas now, not getting the boost. I think his timing was just a little bit off there. Discretion being the better part of valor. He didn't try to force something that wasn't there as he makes his way up. And it's going to look, it's going to look very briefly like our opponents are on the same stage, but do not be fooled. Zed is actually an entire loop ahead of Aquas right now by virtue of Error having some rough times with the second loop of Makaimura. Oh, and now Zed not able to get the boost there. Oh, it looks like he was trying to set the backup boost going, but unfortunately was not to be. Aquas now on stage 2 of loop 1. Oh, and Zed taking a death there. The Wriggly Worm came out of the ground and said hello, and you don't want to see that. You see that timing from Zed jumping right through that flower. It looked like it was spawning on top of him, but Zed knowing his timing perfectly, able to get that boost, and now he will get on to Shielder. Here in loop 2 of Ghouls and Ghosts, the arcade version. Meanwhile, Aqua's doing everything he can to make up some time here. As Zed puts down Shielder number 2. And we'll be going on to stage 2. Zed making this section look completely trivial, but when you are playing this game in a casual setting or even in a fast casual setting, and you're not entirely sure where the collapsing sections are, you can die very, very quickly in that section. But Zed is showing no issue whatsoever getting through those bridges. And we see Aquas picking up the shield again. There it is. The item he truly wants, the dagger, spawns after getting the shield, and he is going to pick that up with great haste and make his way up the auto-scroller here. A lovely auto-scroller, a much better auto-scroller than that which we will see in Super Ghouls and Ghosts in just a little bit here in the Makaimura relay race. But right now, some unfinished business with Ghouls and Ghosts for both of these runners. Aquas on stage 3 of loop 1. Zed just about to join him on stage 3, but on loop 2. Oh, and a little one up there for Zed. I don't think he'll need it, but he'll be happy to take it. And of course, because Zed got the dagger in loop 1 and has maintained it the entire time, he does not need to worry about weapon farming in this stage, but he is happy to pick up that gold armor. In order to get the weapon spawn that he will ultimately need on stage 5, the Psycho Crusher that will allow him to beat the game, Zed needs to be in gold armor to get the weapon to spawn. Now, Zed is going to try to maintain gold armor through much of the game, but there are some times where he's probably going to be taking some damage boost and maybe some intentional deaths. So he will have to very likely get the gold armor back. But if he can maintain it throughout, then he will not have to worry about that. He can actually get the Psycho Crusher at any time now, whenever there is a weapon drop from a chest. But while the weapon does a lot of damage, it does not have, you cannot have as many of them on screen at one time as you can with the dagger. You cannot spawn your replicant. But, oh, Zed jumping through the mouth right there, showing off a little bit. So Zed will be waiting until the final main stage. Oh, and I think Zed has gone through all of the mouths in this stage, in these two loops so far. There he goes again, going through the bottom two mouths, and he will be fighting Gasudo here. And Gasudo with the lovely spawn to start. Gasudo is going to be dead in just a moment here. There it is. Aquas now getting the boost, getting the armor pickup. That armor pickup is going to serve him real well going into this Ohm fight. Anytime you can get to Ohm with armor, which is pretty rare considering the deboost that these players do, it just gives you that extra ability to obviously tank a hit. And I'm here to tell you, these worms that spawn, as you can see right there, Aquas would be dead right now, but he gets that armor pickup. Now he's got through the rough part of this fight. He's going to go to the save point, and he will be done with Ohm in just a moment. And he is loving it right now, folks. Oh no! Oh, he missed the slug! The save point wasn't so safe when that slug got loose. And now Aquas, oh, he's got to be laughing right now, folks. I can't even begin to tell you how unlikely that is for someone like Aquas to take that hit. And now, oh, our players are looking darn near in sync right now, folks. They're not actually in sync. Oh, and Zed with the gamesmanship going for the absolute crush pattern right there, dropping down to the right side, trying to kill through some enemies to get the super fast pattern. Does not get it, but kudos to him for going for it. And a little bit of sportsmanship there. That is going to give Aquas a little bit of time back as he went for the safer route. But man, good on Zed for going for the super tough drop right there. Zed now looking to get rid of these intestines. You see those worms spawning there, running all around. They spawn randomly, and Aquas is done with Ohm. Now Zed going to the now quote-unquote safe spot. Previously safe, but no longer guaranteed safe. There's the slug coming. Oh, but no problem for Zed. Gets rid of Ohm, and he'll be on to stage 5, the last real stage here in Ghouls and Ghosts for the arcade. And again, our players look pretty near in sync here, but you have to remember, Aquas is only on loop 1 here. Zed picking up that gold armor, and now he is 2 Arimers away from getting the weapon he needs in order to beat the game, folks. Let's see if he can do it. Wisely making sure the angel spawns first. The goddess, I guess, and picks up the Psycho Crusher, the weapon that will allow him to get to the final boss. And it's also going to do a ton of damage to the enemies he encounters throughout the rest of the stage. And as an added bonus, while he is in gold armor, the Psycho Crusher will Psycho Cannon? Whichever one isn't an M. Bison move. I mess it up all the time. Psycho Cannon, I think this is. The Psycho Crusher is the M. Bison move. I think. I'm gonna go with that. The Psycho Cannon is what Zed has picked up. I believe I said Psycho Crusher 47 times, so I will say Psycho Cannon 47 times, and it will all even out. Zed with the Psycho Cannon. Come on, Capcom, name things more originally. Zed now able to cancel projectiles as long as he maintains his gold armor. And making quick work of Astaroth. As you see, he only needs to kill the Astaroth on the right. He's going by the mini Gasudos. And it looks like they're going to give him some cooperation, allow him to get up here, and does not get a weapon spawn, which is exactly what he wants. And he is going to have a crack at Bub here. Aqua's getting the quick kill on Bub. Actually, it's a little bit different. But oh, okay. He had the Aqua's had the 2 team members. He had his clone there doing some work, putting down Bub pretty quickly. Zed now staying in this Bub fight a little longer than he'd like, but you know, all he has to do is hold on at this point. Doing a lot of damage, and there it is. Bub is down, and now it is on to Lucifer, aka Loki, aka our final boss here. Oh, and gets the pattern right away. Done! Zed putting down the final boss here in Ghouls just like that. and we will be on to our final game in the Makaimura Relay with Hanage Belmondo, the former Super Ghouls and Ghosts champion, getting cracking here as we switch over. There it is, and he is off and running in Super Ghouls and Ghosts, aka Cho Makaimura. And we are one loop separated here, folks, as Hanage Belmondo is off and running and gets the bow. So there are some interesting strats you can use for the bow. I don't think Hanage even sweats whichever weapon he gets at this point. He is at such a high level in this game. Grabbing the green armor here. Oh, and he gets a little bit of the hide spawn there. That is a troll spawn, ladies and gentlemen, but no problem for Hanage as he makes it past. He did not get as high as it possibly could have gone, but still, to see that happen while you're in mid-jump is no fun at all. Meanwhile, Aquas making his way over to Shielder in Loop 2 on stage 1 here. And down goes Shielder very easily. Great kill for Aquas. Now the water section, where these waves will crash on our opponents, or our competitors, excuse me. Hanage actually doing a spawn skip there where he triggered both waves to go back to back right there. Normally you wait and they will spawn as you make your way through the pillars there, but Hanage getting them to spawn back to back, that will save him a little bit of time. Oh, and he catches the edge of the Belial right there. That little skull wheelie deal. That is very much not intentional. So now Hanage is going to find himself a little bit less firepower as a result of taking damage. Your total damage is semi-determinate on your armor, and also he's going to be coming up to our Cockatrice boss here in 1-1 with no armor, so he's got to be a little careful here. He's probably going to play it a bit safe. We'll see how it goes. Oh, the egg's coming out. The Cockatrice can shoot an egg at you, or you can extend his neck. There's the neck. Unfortunately, the very weak, unpowered bow takes a little bit longer to get those kills with, but Hanage making it look easy, and he is now on to stage 2. Gotta figure Hanage is going to be looking for a dagger drop here. Oh, and he picks up the scythe. Now, the reason, you might think, if you know anything about this game, that a scythe is an undesirable weapon. Typically it is, but Hanage is going to pick up every weapon that he gets to spawn in this stage, because the more weapons you pick up, the more likely that the game is to drop weapons. Now, the drops from the chest in this game are based on which level armor you have and which number chest it is, but which weapon can drop varies based on the number of frames that you've encountered in the stage. So it's you got a lot going on, a lot of mechanics feeding into which weapons drop. However, in addition to chest drops, you can also get drops from enemies throughout this stage. So when you're picking up the weapons, that encourages the enemies that can drop weapons to continue dropping weapons. So he's going to pick up probably whatever weapons he gets. He may forego an axe, because the axe is real tougher stuff to get through the game with, but Hanage can certainly make use of the scythe. Not ideal though it may be. It's certainly not the weapon of choice in this section, but it can be done. Of course, we saw Hanage do a D-boost a little bit earlier when he was going through the ship section. That is, he is setting himself up to get his steel armor back here, and he's going to ultimately be looking to get gold armor by the end of the stage, doing a little bit of a manipulation that's pretty darn cool. It's one of the ways we keep our sanity here in Super Ghouls and Ghosts during this 3.5 minute long and largely exceptionally boring auto-scroller. I am one of the few people who does tend to favor auto-scrollers as a rule. Oh, and there's the dagger for Hanage, getting the lucky drop, and he is ready to go. That is the weapon he will be sticking with largely throughout the rest of the run. Eventually, he will have to get the Goddess Bracelet, but you are going to be seeing all dagger all of the time, barring some nasty setback for Hanage Belmondo. Oh, no, and speaking of nasty setback, he gets in a bad position with that fish. Gets the weapon drop that he absolutely does not want, but now, with no armor going into the pickup section, he is not going to be able to get up to gold armor. He's not going to be able to get up even to green armor. He is going to be rolling with steel armor into the boss fight. That is, of course, assuming he makes it to get that pickup. He's got a couple more enemies to deal with until that point. But wow, a shocking turn of events here for Hanage. As on the left side of your screen, Aqua's getting that big boost and getting the armor back. And he will be heading over to Ohm Mark II as he is making his way as quickly as he can through Ghouls and Ghosts on the arcade. And there will be the steel armor for Hanage. Unfortunately, he could have manipulated some chest spawns there to get both green and gold armor had he come in with steel armor. But again, because he is naked at that position, the chest progression just does not allow him to get any higher than steel armor at this point in the game. But he is happy to have that extra bit of stability going into our Storm Ciceris boss, just coming up here in a few moments. A couple more mermen to deal with, a couple more fish, but the boss will be on your screen in just a short amount of time here. And it is Aquas now who is getting the goddess to spawn and picking up the Psycho Cannon. The Psycho Cannon. Oh no! Oh, the bad luck for Aquas. The sword spawns right on his position while he is jumping, and now Aquas has to get another spawn of the Psycho Cannon. That is just some nasty business from Ghouls and Ghosts right there, folks. Unavoidable too. You do not have double jumps in Ghouls and Ghosts, so the Aquas was already committed to the jump. The chest, or not the chest, the pot spawned the weapon, but quickly enough, we see another goddess, and everything is right on Aqua's screen with his weapon. And there is Storm Ciceris for Hanage. He plays it a little bit safe, backs off, but gets a lot of daggers on him very quickly. And the barnacle is busted as we are on to stage 3. The fiery cauldron here. And this is where business tends to pick up here in Super Ghouls and Ghosts. We have the big fire shooting bears. We have the flaming imps. And there, Hanage gets his green armor. He's probably going to get some gold armor here. Yes, we see him setting it up. The chest trigger points are at very specific spots in this game, as well as in Ghouls. So sometimes you will see our runners make some moves that look a little bit nonsensical, but are serving a greater purpose. In this case, Hanage gets the gold armor, but we see Aquas now getting into the Loki fight. Does not get the good pattern straight away. Oh, he was looking to boost up on the knee there. He's putting a lot of Psycho Cannon hits in. Oh, gets the kill, but no, he dies on the same time. Oh my goodness, he's gonna have to do it again. Aquas was so close there, but the double KO does not go to the runner in this case. Oh, and now Aquas is up on the knee, and he says, let me tell you a story about how you're dead. And now Aquas will be handing the reins over. The Sam I Am, the new United States champion of Super Ghouls and Ghosts. And he will be off and running here shortly. Oh, and Hanage, it looked like he got to the checkpoint and then he jumped off to the left. It looked like the Red Reamer just gave him the business there. And yes, indeed, he is at the checkpoint. Gets his armor back. There's a little bit of a backup strat if things go sideways with that Red Reamer. It looked like Hanage was going for the quick kill strats, using the daggers only to kill him, not going with the magic, and unfortunately, the Reamer decided not to cooperate, as so often happens in this game, things not cooperating. But Hanage, not losing any sleep over it, he is pressing forward, got his green armor back, and he'll be getting up to gold. Wants that gold armor to maintain his magic. That is one of the additions in this game, and as well as the double jump, you get some really overpowered magic. And we saw a little bit of magic in Ghouls and Ghosts, but it kind of just nibbles around the edges compared to the feast of magic that we get here in Super Ghouls and Ghosts. This dagger magic in particular being just ridiculously OP. Not only do you have an incredible number of invulnerability frames while you use your dragon magic, when you have the dagger, but it does damage every frame that it's attacking an enemy, so it just is an absolute killer. But as we're describing it, Hanage catching that goblin right to the face, and now he will not have armor for this boss. He may be able to pick up some steel armor. I don't think he's going to bother with it, though. Oh, it looks like he actually may look at it, but no, it's a magician there. Oh, and that death is really brutal for Hanage. That is going to take him all the way back to the start of the pillar section, and that is a good minute of time loss at least. Those of us who run Super Ghouls and Ghosts know that death very well. The Goblin Waterfall is no mean feat, ladies and gentlemen. They like to drop right on your head, give you no quarter, and none was given to Hanage right there. As Sam I Am takes down the cockatrice, and he is moving on to stage 2. And if he could ever find a skip for this auto-scroller, now would be the time, because that would put him right back into the driver's seat. Unfortunately, to this point, no one has found it yet. There's been some research into it, but I don't know if tonight is going to be the night. Hanage picking up his gold armor and just taking care of these gargoyles as he goes. Typically, we will only see 3 bats on screen at a time. However, sometimes old Super Ghouls and Ghosts likes to play tricks on you. And you can see 4 bats, slow the game down a little bit, or as many as 7 bats. That's the most I've seen. And boy, the game grinds to a halt at that point. But it looks like Hanage gets through just with dealing with 3 bats. Oh, and the big drop from Sam. Maintaining the green armor, so he's going to go with a little bit safer strat here. And you see, Sam has picked up the axe here. And while he didn't axe for that weapon, he's going to roll with it because, again, he wants to encourage the game to keep giving him weapon drops. And hope that he will end up with a dagger before too long here. And now Hanage looks like he's going to go for the safer of the quick kills here. A wise decision in this marathon setting. We'll see. He's going to pause there just momentarily. Walk over. And there's the Deathcrawler, everybody. Say hi to the Deathcrawler and say goodbye to the Deathcrawler, because that is it. Just like that, Hanage showing the power of the dragon magic and going on to stage 4. Now, if you do get motion sickness, ladies and gentlemen, you may want to avert your eyes in this stage, especially after the checkpoint, because we are going to have a lot of Mode 7 action here, rotating the screen in very significant ways. So we want to just give everybody a heads up. If you do get motion sickness, this stage may not be for you. This stage will take about 1 minute and 40 seconds in total. So if you want to take about 2-minute break, come on back. We will pick up the action for you. Hanage now jumping right through those spikes. The hitbox on those spikes is very deceptive. It is always a cool thing to do. Oh, and Hanage, very wisely there, losing his shield. Now, you may say to yourself, why would you want to lose your shield right there? Isn't that a beneficial thing? And in some ways it is, but it does create lag. And of course, this is a speed run. This is a race, ladies and gentlemen. So our opponents here, our competitors, definitely want to save any time that they can. And Hanage, he knows that in this stage, the benefits of the shield are far outweighed by the time benefits of getting rid of the shield. So he does so in a very smooth way. And he will be on to the significantly more Mode 7 portion of the stage. So once again, if you do get motion sickness, now would be a great time to avert your eyes for another minute or so. On the left side of your screen, Sam I Am making his way through the auto-scroller. It looks like he did pick up the dagger, so he is loving life. And he has got his gold armor by virtue of using a little bit safer strats, so he does not have to worry about finagling any armor pickups throughout the rest of the stage. All he's got to do is stay away from damage. And it looks like he has the blue shield here. I forget which one is the sun and which one is the moon shield. But he has the upgraded shield. And what that does is not only allows him to cast his magic faster, but allows him to take 3 hits from small projectiles instead of just 1 for the red shield. Typically, you don't necessarily need the upgraded shield, but that probably gives Sam a little bit of extra comfort, especially dealing with some of the imps that he has coming up in stage 3. And by being able to cast magic faster, there's a few enemies, a few bosses in the game in particular, that's going to pay off dividends for Sam. Not in a significant way, but slightly. And if Sam is comfortable with that, then obviously you don't want to go away from that in a marathon setting. And Hanage making quick work of the Hydra, a very easy boss. And now we get on to stage 5. The Woo Bears shooting ice, not getting a chance to right there. Hanage saying goodbye. Oh, and it sounded to me like we have a bad luck flower that has just spawned. We'll see if he shoots. He does, but it is nowhere near Hanage. He makes quick work of the flower, and look at these aggressive strats from Hanage. He puts down the bad luck flower, he jumps past the second flower, and the third one is nothing to him as he is on his way through this stage. And I'm here to tell you, that looks so ridiculously easy, and it is one of the nastier pieces of business in the game. Those flowers have cost many a run for many a runner, but Hanage making it look like it's nothing just goes to show the level of talent he's operating on. And right there, the late hitbox spawn on the ice snakes serve Hanage well. He's able to jump through them unscathed. Oh, but gets scathed pretty hard right there by the Arimer. Unfortunately for Hanage, he does not have his armor. Fortunately for him, he's going to hit the checkpoint and take a quick death and get his armor back. We saw those strats employed with great success on stage 3, and again here on stage 5 of loop 1. He is going to he's going to get his armor back. Meanwhile, Sam making his way through stage 3, maintaining his armor so far. A fine job out of Sam, showing why he is the United States champion of this game. But it's Hanage who is maintaining the lead here, stage 5, a few minutes ahead. He's going to be picking up that green armor here, and just in a minute, he'll be getting the gold armor as well. Dealing with these avalanches, he's going to be trying to use his double jump to great efficiency to jump over the trigger points that are going to push Hanage back. If he can do that, he will get through unscathed and get onto the boss here. The ice boss, Lord Allison, BL Allison, where he will put that dragon magic to some excellent use. 2 hits, a couple daggers, losing the shield very wisely with the ice ball. It's funny because actually that's a good spot to keep your shield going into this stage, because we're going to be fighting Astaroth at the end of this stage, and it is nice to have that little bit of extra time cut off your charging. Hanage now is setting up the double kill on these Arimers, has the setup. Oh, but the Arimer goes to a bad position, and now Hanage is going to try to get him to follow Hanage over to the checkpoint, not the checkpoint, the end point for the stage, which triggers the bosses and which sends all of the other enemies away. But no, the Arimer says, you know what? I'm getting a little bit of FaceTime here. This is my show now, Hanage. What are you going to do, buddy? Hanage waiting for him to charge. It looks like it's not going to happen just yet. That wall, it may actually not do anything, but it looks like it prevented just enough of the Arimer movement to give Hanage some rough times. If Hanage can just run to the right, he could have despawned both Arimers, but unfortunately, that second Arimer said, not today, kid. Sam I Am doing the quick kill on the Death Crawler. The marathon safe quick kill. Oh, and Hanage wanted to do a deboost, but not at that spot, so he's going to take a quick death here. Maybe he's not. Oh, I see what he's going to do. He may not know the boost strats. He's going to kill all of these Arimers, it looks like. And you can certainly do that with, there are some strats for that as he's setting up these Arimers. He's going to do a big swoop here. And now you're going to wait for the Arimer to drop on the ground and wait for him to charge. Once he charges, you go crazy with your daggers. Just mash, 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 and that'll be it. There it is. Just like that. You too can execute these strats at home. Big swoop, wait for him to drop, wait for him to charge, and then you mash like crazy. And there we see the wonderful hitbox from the cockatrice head. Hanage jumping right through him. And once again, if you do get motion sickness on the left side of your screen, you may want to avert your eyes for the next minute or so. As Sam I Am is approaching the really gnarly Mode 7 portion of the game. But meanwhile, Hanage, the naked strats on Astaroth here. Hanage just going to play it safe here. Those lasers will track, those lasers and the fire from Astaroth will track to Hanage's position. But no problem, the daggers will go a long distance, and Hanage uses that distance to his advantage and puts away Astaroth. And now Hanage will be looking to get that gold armor back. Spawns the first chest. Doesn't need that. That's going to be a weapon for him. Now we have a lot going on here in stage 7. We have the cockatrice heads. We have the imps coming out after him. We're going to have some Arimers and some ghosts spawning. Oh, it looks like we have a little bit of buffering on Sam I Am's side. We apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. Get that sorted. There it is. He's all back. And a perfectly executed cockatrice skip right there from Hanage. It looks like he's going to go for the Japan jump. Oh my goodness, and gets the flavor in there, throws that dagger. Oh my goodness, what an amazing clutch performance from Hanage. That jump has a 2-pixel window for success. It is so ridiculously tight, and Hanage makes it look like it's nothing. And that quick cockatrice head kill. The mashing is out of this world for Hanage. Gets rid of both of them, and he will be making his way on to our double header boss here at the end of loop 1. But first, got a couple more platforms to deal with. On the left side of your screen, Sam I Am taking care of the Hydra, and he will be on the stage 5. As Hanage is now going to be fighting a familiar foe here to start us off. Astaroth is back, but now we have Dragon Magic, which means Astaroth does not have much time. But wait! Here's his buddy Neberoth, come to do battle with Arthur. The dragon didn't get quite as much damage on Neberoth as Hanage might have hoped for there. Oh, but he backs into that second one, and that's going to do it. Oh, and Hanage very fortunate to get that fire to get rid of his shield and only his shield. As now, Princess Prin Prin will tell Hanage, thank you for coming to rescue me. Unfortunately, you do not have the weapon that you need in order to save me. And she will request of Arthur and Hanage to go back and get the goddess bracelet, the bracelet that Prin Prin so often worn, which turns out is the ultimate power in the universe. It would have been nice if it would have been available to pick up in the first loop. Unfortunately, that is not the case. Meanwhile, on the left side of your screen, Sam I Am using his Dragon Magic to get rid of that Arimer. He's going to press forward. No need to take a safety death here. Has his gold armor, has his dagger, and he is loving life. Sam I Am looking like he's keeping a very tidy pace here in Super Ghouls and Ghosts. But it is Hanage Belmondo, the former world record holder in this game, who is firmly in the lead position right now, starting stage 1 of loop 2, our final loop here in the Makaimura relay race. This is your English Restream. I am your host, Enemy. And now Sam I Am is coming up to our stage 5 boss. And it looks like Sam is getting a favorable pattern here. Oh no, he dodges a little bit. But Sam putting those daggers to him and grabbing the key. And we will see how Sam does with these Arimers. Hanage had a little bit of trouble with them. Had to take a death, but sorted them out on the second time through. And now Hanage getting to the wave section of stage 1 on loop 2. And there we see the magic from Sam I Am. No shenanigans here. No crazy strats. He's just going to play it safe. Use that magic. And make his way through unscathed. And there we see that pass through the cockatrice head again. Good hitboxes are good, ladies and gentlemen. And that is the Belial that gave Hanage some problems on the first loop, but not this time. As Hanage is just powering through stage 1 of loop 2 here. Moving closer and closer to victory for Team Japanida. But Sam I Am is not giving up. 2 shots to Astaroth, and he is down. The Dragon Magic showing why it is the strongest weapon in the game. The strongest magic in the game, at least. But Hanage taking care of Cockatrice number 2. And going back to our auto-scroller stage. Our primary auto-scroller stage. We do have another one in 4, but it is quite a bit shorter. We'll see if Hanage chooses to go with the standard fast strats with the D-boost up on the ship. Or if, because he had some issues in the water last time around, he chooses to maintain his armor this time. We will see. I bet that Hanage will take the boost. Indeed he does. No surprise there. The heart of a champion. But we will see if it pays off down the stretch here. It is a very standard strat that we use in the speedrun for this game. Of course, in a marathon setting, you never know if those fast strats are going to pay off or not. Sam making his way up and going over to the double boss fight. Astaroth and Nebaroth. He's got his magic charged. It should be no problem for him to send home loop 1 and get going on loop 2 here. There's a javelin drop there for Hanage. He's going to avoid that. Wants to keep that dagger for as long as he can. He will pick up the Goddess Bracelet only on stage 7 of loop 2 here. The Goddess Bracelet, very similar to the Psycho Cannon, does a lot of damage, can cancel projectiles if you have your gold armor, and does damage based on the distance away from Arthur that it has traveled. It travels a greater distance the higher your armor has been upgraded, but because you can only have one on screen at a time, it is a far less versatile weapon than the dagger. Additionally, it does not have a great powerful magic attack, which of course the dagger absolutely does. So although it is good on a one-hit basis, it is not the weapon that you want throughout the rest of the run by any means. Sam making quick work of Astaroth and Nebaroth, getting a talking to from Prin Prin, getting his marching orders for loop 2 here. And he'll be off and running in just a moment as Hanage makes his way through. He looks like he jumped at a time when the fish was going to be very unfriendly to him, but Hanage making great use of that double jump mechanic here in Super Ghouls and Ghosts and able to avoid the armor loss. And it looks like Hanage is going to be able to set himself up to get that gold armor. What he's actually going to have to do here is spawn chests out of order. There's going to be a chest on his left side that he's going to spawn after a chest on his right side. So with an auto-scroller, it's a little bit odd to be spawning things out of sequence, but speed strats, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he didn't get the spawn. We're going to see if he saves it. No, that's going to be too far to the side of the screen. And again, Hanage is unable to collect both armors, and indeed, he will maintain the steel armor. And I got to figure that Hanage took that magic as a little bit of penance right there because he could have easily avoided that magician. But he said, you know what? I have made a silly mistake here. Let's go ahead and seal the deal with a little bit of magician play here. But once again, the good news for Hanage is he's very familiar with this, having gone through loop 1 in this stage, this boss fight with the steel armor. The bad news is it's a much slower kill than if he were to have maintained his dragon magic, or recaptured his dragon magic by getting the gold armor. Unfortunately, he was just a little bit off in his positioning, and the positioning for those chest spawns are immutable. They are non-negotiable. We should be seeing Hanage keep some distance here. He does not want to die. The last thing in the world that you want to do in this game is die at the end of stage 2 on either loop. Because, oh no, he has taken the armor away, and now we're hoping for some good luck from the missiles. Only 2, and whoo, sigh of relief for Hanage as he is through the auto-scroller. If he were to die there, it would be a nasty 3.5 minute time loss. The worst time loss in the game, folks. Or at least the worst time loss, the worst time loss in terms of you can't speed it up anymore. You are stuck at the mercy of the slow-moving raft. But Hanage clutches out the kill, and he's on to the cauldron here. Meanwhile, Sam is keeping pace here, and he is starting off stage 2 on loop 2. So he's making good time here. Team USA has definitely made up some time throughout the relay, but they find themselves increasingly in a bad position in terms of the race. With each passing stage, there is less and less time to get back. As well as Team USA is playing, you know, at some point, they're going to have to start hoping for some misfortune on Team Japan, which you hate to see. Hanage's had a little bit of a couple sloppy spots, but for the most part, he has handled himself very nicely here in this race. The one of the main things with Super Ghouls and Ghosts that you have to learn if you want to be able to run it, especially in a marathon setting, is the backups. You know, how to recover quickly and which spots are better to die at than others. And Hanage certainly handled that very well here. He did have that nasty death at the end of this stage on the first loop, but you know, he went back, got his armor back, and got the quick kill on the boss. I've seen it many times, whether it's myself or other runners, take a death on stage 3, and that just sends the run into utter chaos. It just precipitates a nasty loop where you get some bad luck from the bats, some bad spawns from the goblins here that you see Hanage dealing with, and you know, you start losing minutes and minutes of time really quickly. But that is not the case for Hanage so far. The deaths have been in isolation. And he's maintaining his pretty much exactly a stage lead right now. As he goes through Goblin Niagara Falls, no problem, jumping up and getting those quick kills. The goblins were somewhat cooperative, but they did try to drop one on his head. And Hanage said, no, no, this is my time. Death Crawler number 2. Same as the first. Easy does it. That dragon magic tracking perfectly with the Death Crawler and putting a lot of hurt on him. Sam I Am making his way through the 3.5-minute auto-scroller, riding that raft. And I can tell you right now, folks, he's just wishing that he could do anything at all to speed this up, even just a little bit. Oh, no. Oh, and Hanage catching the top of that spike. Interestingly, the flat part of that spike does more damage than the front of the spike as long as you don't get too close to them. And now, Hanage is going to be in an armor deficit on this stage. Can be a nasty position to be in. There's a lot of firepower that can be thrown at Hanage in this stage. But, you know, he's been a pro so far. We will see how he handles himself in this situation. I don't believe he's in a position, chest-wise, to be able to get back up to anything other than steel armor the rest of the way through this stage. We will see. That should be chest 2 for him. He needs chest number 4 right now to get steel armor back. It's either I didn't see if he spawned the first chest. I don't think he did, because you normally wouldn't. So that's chest 3. Yeah, and that's the magician. So he's going to baby his way through. Oh, the baby's crying. Hanage showing off 2 of the magician abilities right there. What you get turned into is based on the level of armor you're at when the magician hits you. So we've seen the seal, we've seen the baby. There is Lady Arthur, and there is also a bee. Hanage is going to make his way through armorless. There are no chests in this section. Again, remind folks that if you do get queasy, now would be a good time to look away. For about another 40 seconds. Sam I Am making quick work of Storm Cesaris on the left side of your screen, getting that key, and he will be on to stage 3. But now Hanage is about to wrap up stage 4 here. He should be out of the woods. The Hydra is a very easy boss, but if Hanage is a little bit too aggressive, it could come back and bite him. And unfortunately, when you die to the Hydra, you have to do that entire Mode 7 heavy section all over again. And while it is a shorter auto-scroller than in Stage 2, it is still an auto-scroller. So the time loss is nasty in that spot. No, the Hydras are firing. Unfortunately, because Hanage has lost his armor, his firepower is significantly weaker. Your firepower does increase as your armor increases. I believe the daggers do 6 base damage here. They go up to 8 when you have green and gold armor. But Hanage is done with the Hydras on to stage 5, and he will be looking to reclaim his gold armor throughout this stage. He's going to go to the left, spawn that chest, and that's going to set him up to get chest number 2, which will have his green armor in it, which will be off the ledge right here. A crazy looking jump at first, but it's crazy like a fox as he gets his green armor back. That's going to upgrade his weapon and not keep him any slower. No shield, no plumage on the back of his helm, none of that stuff. Oh, he's got the bad luck flower, but jumps over the spore. Oh, and he's got a sleepy flower here, which means he's going to go right past. Oh, he thought he had the hits. Did not happen right there. One more hit needed to get rid of that flower and send in Hanage hurtling backwards there, but stays alive. And now he's in the unenviable position of, oh, and he does not even get to the ice snakes. Instead, catches the spike right there and is going to go back to the start of this stage. He certainly has the time to take right there, but that was definitely an unfortunate series of events. For Hanage Belmondo, who is now respawning his green armor once again. Oh, and now Hanage, his position is just a hair off when he's doing these quick kills on the flower. It looks like he's just maybe a pixel or 2 low to get that last dagger hit in. Oh, and there's the definition of the bad luck flower right there. Leaning that spore in on the jump, and there we see the game over, ladies and gentlemen. Now, he's got plenty of credits. You collect extra credits by picking up money bags in the game. As you see, he had 9 credits. You start with 3, I believe. So he's stacked them up pretty quickly. Oh, and Sam I Am going for the quick kill, the clutch quick kill, the PB quick kill. Doesn't care that it's a race. He says, now is my time. That's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. Sam I Am showing why he is the best player in the United States of America, ladies and gentlemen. Amazing job out of Sam to get that kill in a race. And I can tell you right now, Sam I Am is feeling like $1,000,000. He has got a head full of steam, and he's ready to just crush the rest of this run. Meanwhile, Hanage, he has had some flower troubles. These flowers have given him the business. He's taken a game over, and we will see what happens here in Stage 5. I have been the victim of many Stage 5 shenanigans in my time with this game, but Hanage, maintaining the lead, but, another couple deaths here, and Sam I Am, with that sort of clutch performance that he's showing, he might be right back in this, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, Hanage using every last frame of the late to spawn hitbox there on the Ice Snake, just getting through unscathed. Oh, and jumps past the Shield Knight. Oh, and he takes a death right, or not the death right there. He takes the hit right there. Looks like he was probably trying to just use those iframes to get past the Aremer, and does so, gets to the checkpoint, and takes the quick death. Hanage decides discretion is the better part of valor in that situation. He will get his armor back. Oh, he's going to do the early chest spawns. He's going to spawn that first chest. The second chest will be here in just a moment. Walking along the ground. Kill that wolf and get the green armor. Hanage playing it very safe with that strat right there, folks. You can get both your green and gold armor spawns in due course just by proceeding on through the stage. But clearly at this point, Hanage is fed up with this stage and decided, you know what, just let's get our armor back. Let's not worry about the shenanigans that have befallen us on this stage. And let's just close this stage and hopefully this race out in short order. Because Sam I Am, ladies and gentlemen, is fixing to breathe down his neck if Hanage gives him any extra time right here. Sam, of course, dealing with that auto-scroller. Just about done with the stomach-churning portion. Oh, Hanage getting real close there. Could have finished it off a little bit faster with just daggers. But it is no problem for Hanage, as he is now on to Stage 6. And the Red Aremer rematch. Hanage going for those crazy double kill strats, and it looks like he's got it this time, ladies and gentlemen. No problem for the former champ. Meanwhile, Sam I Am making quick work of the Hydra, getting the key, and he is going to be on to stage 5. We will see how stage 5 treats him. It was unkind to Hanage. What will Sam I Am do? Oh, Hanage missing that jump right there. Does happen from time to time. But he is up and ready to put Astaroth away very quickly here. He's going to sit right on his toe, charge that magic, and let it go right as the laser's about to hit him. 2 shots, 1 kill. And Hanage on to 2-7. Our final main stage of the game before our final boss. Hanage will be picking up the Goddess Bracelet in this stage. And that is when it gets serious, folks. Up until this point, he's been able to rely on the Dragon Magic to get him out of a jam. He's been able to rely on the swiftness and the multiple shots of the dagger to keep him in good shape. But right now, he is about to make the switch. Oh, no! And he does not get the J-jump. The jump so named for all of the amazing Japanese runners who execute it effortlessly. There was some effort in that one, and it did not happen for Hanage. And once again, we're seeing a little bit of time for Zed to creep back into this one, ladies and gentlemen. That death could have been a lot worse any later in the stage, and Hanage would have been in real rough shape. But he wisely took the quick death to respawn his armor, to position himself to get not only the gold armor, but to get the Goddess Bracelet in as quickly an amount of time as possible. So Hanage, knowing his surroundings, he's very aware of his situation, and looks like he will be able to set himself up. Goes for the jump again and gets it that time. And gets the green armor. Now he's going to do a double jump to the left and get the gold armor. And not this next chest. He's going to spawn a chest and leave it alone. That's going to be a shield. He absolutely does not need it. Oh, he's going to get it, though. Okay. It'll give him a little bit extra safety in the Astaroth and Nebaroth fights. But for right now, he's going to get rid of the cockatrice heads, and then he's going to spawn a chest right in the middle of this section right here. So you'll see he's going to do a double jump to the right here, and that's going to be the Goddess Bracelet. So the little fairy's going to go around. Sam I Am fighting BL Allison and getting the key. The ice boss is down, and now Sam I Am creeping ever closer to Hanage, and if Hanage were to die to this boss, Sam I Am will be right neck and neck with him as long as he can maintain his position in this stage. It looks like Sam I Am went for the double kill setup there, did not get it, he recognized it, bailed out of it, and decided to just take their reamers one at a time. Oh, Hanage might land on the fire there. Yes, he did. That's a real bad position for him to be in. That armor is critical for success in this this fight right here. Now his damage is significantly reduced. He is doing very little damage while maintaining distance. Hanage is trying to stay close. He's going to try to get the fire to spawn by staying near Astaroth's knee, his foot, and is able to get Astaroth down. That is the hard part being done, but he is by no means out of the woods. One little slip here, and he's going to be back to the beginning of the stage. Jumps over the icicles right there. Those frosty lasers. Hanage's gotten us all skipping a beat of our hearts right now. Oh, and he jumps into the lasers. And now Sam I Am is going to be in the driver's seat right here. We have got ourselves a race, ladies and gentlemen. They are neck and neck at the start of 2-7, ladies and gentlemen. What is going to happen? Sam I Am with the gold armor. He is in the better position of the two right now. Hanage has got to work very quickly to get his armor back, but he does have the Goddess Bracelet. That is actually a negative for him right now. The Goddess Bracelet with only steel armor is going to be an impediment to Hanage's success. Meanwhile, as you see, Sam I Am making his way up very quickly, using that dragon magic, using the speed and the numbers of those daggers to go through, go forward, and get a little bit ahead of Hanage right here as we have a late lead change for Team USA to jump back in front. And Hanage, he loses his armor on the J-jump, and now Sam I Am is firmly in the driver's seat here, ladies and gentlemen. Hanage can get his armor back here, but he is going to be in rough shape. He does not need armor in order to beat this game, but he is going to be in rough shape going into this fight if he is naked. But now, Sam I Am on the left side of your screen, gold armor, blue shield, has the Goddess Bracelet. He is in control. Can he pull off the major upset? No, Hanage taking the death and the game over, and now all Sam I Am has to do is hold on. Can he hold on? Astaroth is the hardest fight in the game under this circumstance, but he's got the gold armor, he's got the shield, he's got the strats, he's getting the flame to spawn at the low angle. It looks like Sam I Am might have a chance to do this. Astaroth goes down! Astaroth is down, and now it's Neberoth. Neberoth standing in the way of Sam and victory here. We have another boss fight, but he makes this look like nothing. Oh, and the buffering! My heart! Oh, and Hanage taking another death! Sam I Am just has to hold on here, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna have a massive comeback from Team USA. Sam playing very smart here, jumping in when he can, staying at distance, getting some nice strong hits by being close, and you see he's able to clear the projectiles by virtue of having that gold armor along with the goddess bracelet. And there goes Neberoth! And now all it is for Sam I Am to take this victory for Team USA is to kill Sardius, a trifle compared to the two bosses he just defeated. All he's looking for right now is a decent pattern. And even with a bad pattern, he's still got this, folks. An unbelievable comeback story from Makaimura in the first race. An 8.5 minute setback for Team USA. Aquas held his own, and Sam I Am playing with very clean strats, wonderful execution throughout. Oh, and the buffering is gonna make us wait to find out how this goes. He's up on the platform. He's throwing those goddess bracelet shots. Maybe one more climb up here. This might do it. He's got the hits in. Let's see. Will Sardius go down here? Yes! Sardius is down! And it is Team USA pulling off the upset of the century to win the Makaimura relay race. Can you believe it, ladies and gentlemen? Oh my God! From the jaws of defeat, Team USA snatches the victory away from Team Japanada. Unbelievable! Congratulations to Error, Aquas, and Sam I Am. They stayed strong throughout all of the shenanigans, and they have won the first ever Makaimura relay race. But now Hanage on the right side of your screen, he's on Neberoth. He has taken care of Astaroth. The hard part's over. He's got his gold armor. He's got his shield. He can close this one out. The deed is done. Neberoth is over, and now it's all left but the Sardius kill. What sort of pattern will Hanage get to close this out for Team Japanada? They had such a strong showing, but 2-7 showed just why it is the nastiest piece of business in Super Ghouls and Ghosts, and perhaps all of the Ghouls and Ghosts games. Gets that great pattern to start. This should be a 2-cycle if he gets a good second pattern. We will see what happens here. Oh, and he gets a slow pattern. He's going to go for it anyway. Oh, and the slow pattern catches up with him. And now Hanage just has to play it safe a little bit. Oh, and another slow pattern. Sardius not letting Hanage go into the victory circle. He is going to hold him up. Oh, and another slow pattern. Sardius being exceptionally rude right now, as if Hanage hasn't suffered enough in 2-7. Sardius getting some screen time. No, and the laser catches Hanage. It is not to be for Hanage. But Sam I Am, you see the victory screen on his side. The attract mode is up. And a good pattern for Hanage this time. All he needs is 2 of them, and he can put Sardius away. He'll get between 7 and 9 hits every time with a good pattern. No, and a slow pattern once again. Hanage's got to be pulling his hair out in frustration right now. Just nothing he can do with that crappy pattern. Technically, you can make it happen, but it's exceptionally daunting to do so. Oh, and he's got a good pattern here. This should be it, folks. This should be the end. Oh, and Hanage goes for a quick kill and does not quite get all of the shots that he needs. Oh, and it looks like he was trying to boost up onto the platform with the slow pattern. Did not happen. And now all Hanage needs is a slower medium pattern. Gets the faster medium pattern. He gets the fast pattern, and he'll be putting Sardius away in a couple hits here. One more, and done. And Hanage, finally, mercifully, Sardius cooperates, and he is able to take the game home for Team Japanada. But it is Team USA with the massive come-from-behind victory to take the victory in the first ever Makaimura relay race. A thrilling comeback, to be sure, for Team USA. Team Japanada was amazing throughout, but it was not to be for Team Japanada. Congratulations to all of our racers. An excellent job from each of them to keep pressing forward with these amazingly difficult games that they made look so absurdly easy. Congratulations to Error, to Wiz, Aquas, ZedAhmad, Sam I Am, and Hanage. Thank you all for the amazing performances you put on for your respective teams. And congratulations once again to Team USA, making the English Restream proud, folks. And a great job from all of our racers. I can't believe it. This could not have gone better, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we have learned that there was a miscue on Team USA's side. There was an accidental difficulty change during Super Ghouls and Ghosts setup. Team USA was playing on a different difficulty level than Team Japan, Team Japanada. And while that may officially change the result of this race, it does not change how amazing the race was. It was an absolute treat to watch and be on the call for. You know, this isn't exactly like super official business, so I don't know exactly what adjudication is going to come down as a result. I don't think anything really, but just for the sake of transparency, we should let everyone know for those watching the VOD back. I know chat was a little bit ahead of me on that one, yeah, the difficulty was altered unbeknownst to Sam I Am as he was going in the game. I think he figured it out during the game, it seems like, but it was unintentional, but unfortunately did alter things. That's going to give him some easier enemies to deal with, easier patterns. Probably a few less enemies as well, if I had to guess. I don't exactly know what beginner does. I haven't had occasion to play it myself, and I'm sure Sam hasn't played it ever before tonight either. And while that is a shame that our racers weren't on equal footing, boy, it sure did make for an exciting race. So yeah, that is what happened, but it was still amazing to watch, and I hope you guys still all enjoyed it. It was something incredible, that's for sure, regardless of exactly how we got there. But now you guys already knew, but now those of you watching on the VOD, you all know the exact score here. But still, an amazing showcase from all 6 of our racers. Can't say enough about the great job that they all did fighting through adversity. Really, everyone, I think, had some tough go of it in one way or the other. And, I mean, this game definitely has a real nasty and real rapid snowball effect when bad things happen. But it did not prevent any of our racers from pressing forward. And the victory may, I guess it's a no contest now. I don't know. Well, let me see if I can check in with a Makaimura Relay headquarters here and see how we're going to award this one. But regardless of what happened, you can't take away the exciting action as it was unfolding. So we hope you enjoyed it very much here on the English Restream. Thank you all for tuning in.